Taylor. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you my favorite everyday makeup look for the summertime, so let's get right into it. First things first, I'm going to prep my skin. I use the Physical Fusion by Ceuticals and just apply it on the skin, and then I like to try and pat it in, but I do get lazy sometimes. And this product makes your skin so dewy. It leaves no white cast. It looks so good under makeup and even just alone. I'm putting on this lip mask by Summer Fridays. I like to hydrate my lips as a first step so they're nice and hydrated by the time I go in with my lip liners and lipsticks. To prep my under eyes, I like the Vitamin Enriched Eye Base by Bobbi Brown. It really hydrates the under eyes and also helps prevent any creasing. I take my ring finger because it's the most gentle, and I'm just gonna pat it underneath my eyes. I prep my skin with the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. I wanted to try it out, so I got the small size, but I'm definitely going to repurchase the bigger size. It's really good for people with oily skin because it gives this nice velvet look to the skin without completely mattifying it. For my foundation, I'm going to mix the Hollywood Flawless Filter by Tilbury. I'm in the shade Light 2. I don't take a lot of this. I mix the Chanel Aqua foundation. I use a stippling brush because I like very light coverage. But if you want more of a full coverage, you can go in with a more dense brush and then work your way up in layers. So I just stipple that on. And afterwards, I'm gonna go in with a buffing brush and blend it all in nicely. I find that helps give it more of a smooth finish. And this Chanel foundation is infused with hyaluronic acid, and hyaluronic acid has instant plumping effects. I'm going to bring the product down my neck a little bit. I'm going to just go over the foundation with the buffing brush. This is the Real Techniques buffing brush, and just really press it into my skin so it's blended evenly. I'm taking the Nudies Tinted Blur Stick over any redness that I have. I always go in with some of this around my nose, and then I have a pimple coming in, so I'm just going to cover that lightly and correct any other dots that I have. If you do have any pimples, I recommend going over those before your foundation with a concealer and then blending the foundation over. But since I only have some minor redness, I just go in with that blur stick after my foundation. Just going to blend that in. I'm going to go in with this Charlotte Tilbury color corrector under my eyes. I'm in the shade 1 Fair. I just focus the product on the dark areas of my eyes. Typically people see the most darkness right up here and right here. And you can see the peach color has really corrected the bluish in my eyes. I'm going to now go over my under eyes with my new favorite concealer. This is the Nudestix Nude Fix concealer. It is so good. It's creamy, but it almost dries to a powder, so you don't need to set it a whole lot. I again focus on the inner corner, and then I like to use this little technique to lift the face a bit, and I will lightly press it under my eyes here, but I don't focus too much product close to the lower lash line just because I find that's when you run into the most issues with creasing. I used to use a really light shade and pack it on under my eyes, and it actually accentuated the darkness under my eyes and just creased like crazy no matter how well I set it. And I don't find you have to wait for this product to set before you start blending it. It blends really nicely. I'm just obsessed with the applicator and how easy this product goes on. And it dries so nicely. I like to go back in with a flatter brush again and just press it in. Next, I'm taking the Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. I, of course, set my concealer. I don't bake, I just brush it. And then I also put some powder everywhere that I don't want to be dewy. I have a pretty oily T-zone, so I like to focus some powder around my nose and a little bit between my brows. Because although we want dewy skin, if you have oily skin, you need to set your super oily areas a little bit. And this translucent powder isn't totally mattifying, it just really sets the foundation nicely. And I just focus on the bottom a little bit because you need a little bit of shape there. I typically would just go in with a clear brow gel, but it needs a little bit. I'm going to now brush my brows out with the 24-Hour Brow Setter by Benefit. This is just the clear gel. I brush them up all the way through and then brush them down a little bit on the ends. I'm taking this Saie Glowy Super Gel. This is in the color Sun Glow. I just put some on the back of my hand and I'm going to use this Blend and Buff brush by Nudestix. I like to use a liquid bronzer rather than a contour when I'm doing daytime looks because I don't want to create any harsh lines when you're, you know, in the sun. So I use this little technique to bring some dimension to the face. And I put it anywhere that the sun would typically hit your skin. So I mainly focus on the temples and then I press them into the forehead. Same kind of places that you would contour, except you're placing it right on the cheeks. I'm gonna take a little bit more and I'm gonna put some on my nose as well. And then I'm gonna blend more on my cheeks and a little bit on my chin. And to blend it out nicely, I'm just going back in with that buffing brush. And you really just want to press it into your foundation. It's really, really, really important to blend, especially when you're doing a daytime look, because like I said, your face in natural light looks a lot different. You can see everything. Kind of sweep it across my face. I'm going to take this Fenty Beauty matchstick in Bamboo and I'm just going to put it on the sides of my nose. I'm now going to take my favorite Nudestix blush. This is in the shade Waikiki Rose. You can use this on your lips too, so it's a very versatile product. I place the blush, focusing it on the temples. This will give the illusion of a lifted look. I use a fluffy brush because I find it blends a lot better when you're using cream products. And I just blend it upwards, focusing it kind of up into the temples. And I'm going to add a little bit more because I love blush. And this color is so beautiful. It's pigmented, but it's not too pigmented. I don't like when blushes have too much color. It's easier to just build on something a little bit more natural. It's a lot easier to blend. And you can go back in with your foundation brush. Make sure it's blended nicely. I like to then go in with a lighter pink shade and bring it into the apples of my cheeks and kind of sweep it over my nose. I'm using the Sugar color from the Pink Passion Blush Trio by Anastasia Beverly Hills. Just take a nice fluffy brush, kind of focus it right on the apples. And yeah, I like to focus it right across my nose. Kind of adds to the illusion of a sun-kissed look. I'm really into this RMS Beauty Living Luminizer. It's a cream highlight, but it's kind of sheer and just adds a really natural glow to the skin. I just warm it up with my finger and then pat it onto my cheekbones, and then I focus some above my brow to lift the brow a bit. And then I'll put some right down the center of my nose. And I also like to do a little bit on my Cupid's bow. It enhances the lips a little bit. I also like to take a small brush and go back in with this product and just focus it on the inner corners of the eye. You can kind of bring it up into your lid. And I take my finger and I just blend it out a bit. For daytime looks, I keep my eyes really simple and I focus on the lashes, but I do like to prime my eyelids with something that's going to give a little bit of coverage and even out the skin tone on your eyelids. So I take the primer from the Amber Neutrals Dior Backstage palette. I use a fluffy concealer brush, get some product in, and just prime my eyes with this. I sometimes use a concealer if I'm using a lot of eyeshadows, but I'm not doing anything too complicated today, so this primer is really good. So I want to keep this makeup look very light and skin focused, so I'm just going to take the bronze highlighter and orange shimmer shade with a fluffy blending brush, mix those two, and just blend it into the eyelid, just to give the lid some warmth and a nice shimmer. And then if you want, you can take your finger and use your finger to brush it on the lid. I find that's when you get the most pigment. I hope you can see how nice this RMS Beauty Luminizer looks. It just gives you a nice natural dewiness. There's no golds or champagne color in it. It's just really glossy and dewy. I love it. It looks so good with this look. I'm going to now curl my lashes. I use the Laura Mercier lash curler. It's so good. It makes such a difference with your mascara. I never do my mascara without curling my lashes. I just pulse it a few times and just make sure that you get it as close to the lash line as you can without it hurting or pulling your eyelashes at all. And look at the difference that made. I'm going to now take my two favorite mascaras, the Dior Show mascara and the Dior Over Curl. I first take the Dior Show mascara and I place my mirror under my face so I can really get into the top lash line. And then I take the Dior Over Curl mascara. Any waterproof mascara will work, but I like to finish off with something waterproof if I'm doing a daytime look. And this adds some nice length to the lashes. Sorry, I started doing this off camera, but if you ever get any mascara on your eyelid, use a spoolie. Don't use a Q-tip, it'll wipe off any eyeshadow that you just did. Just take the spoolie and it'll remove any of that product. And you can brush your lashes out too. I like to rub in the lip mask, and this will kind of take some of the product off and just make it easier to apply your lip liner. For my lips, I'm taking the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip liner. I don't really overdraw my lips. I like to just really define the Cupid's bow and then just line them on the sides and the bottom. And I really love this lip pencil because you can blend it really well. I like the smudge kind of lip look, so this product is really good for that. And I don't fill in my whole lips. I take my finger afterwards and just blend it. So you get some nice color, but it's not lipstick or thick or anything. I Finish off with some gloss. The Dior Lip Maximizer is my favorite lip product. This is the pink shade. The lip glow is also really nice, but I want to do a gloss today to stay on the dewy, shimmery trend. I'm going to finish off with some setting spray. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Setting Spray. It's my current favorite. And I like to apply a lot. I do find it does make a difference. Thank you so much for tuning in to my first video. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know what you want to see from me in the future, and I will see you back here next time.